Another week, baby.
Let's go. Beautiful people, this is episode 3 of season 1, of course. And we are inside the tribe.
The one and only tribe.
You know what's going on, man. I'm feeling fresh. Feels like deja vu because, we tried to shoot, we did shoot the 3rd episode, but, some technical glitches there. But hence why there's a bit of delay as well in terms of us not dropping on time. But here we are.
Excuse us for that, please, kind people.
Yeah. So let's get right into it, man. I think when we went to fetch Q, the conversation we had, I really felt like it was a very interesting one. And obviously to bring some context to it, because obviously we have a big story around it. I was sort of asking Q if he's sort of like observed this, because I was making an example of him, because I had this chat with this other girl from school back in the day in high school. She was busy telling me that for her to date, because she was colored, for her to date like a black dude, he has to be sort of like not an ordinary guy. Do you get what I'm saying? It's either he has to be like fresh,
the class
like
needs
cool.
To be different.
Yeah, he has a car or something. He really needs to do more than the next colored guy. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is obviously, then there was reference of a guy like Kanye West, where I was just making a joke about it. I'm like, obviously, but it's a different thing. Light skin versus black skin. I know Kim's not colored, but in the context of the nigga, Kanye West is like the greatest of all time when it comes, you know what I mean?
GOAT.
Exactly. And then a guy like Pete Davidson can easily chow a girl like Kim because he's white. So like, and in the context of the South African thing, I used to see it where it's like colored guys, like a regular colored guy, he would probably like be able to run through maybe 80% of the blacks. And then obviously even the white
like
niggas,
that,
you know what I mean? And then
like
for
that.
us, it's like we can only fight with 10%.
20%. Yeah, we're fighting. So it's a very tricky conundrum. And we just want to know, why is it like that? Like, is it aspects of the tribe, as in black people? Do we we favor, like we're more open to other races and stuff like that? Or is it coloreds that are that choose their own? Like, what is it that makes people generally choose like that? Why do you think is the reason?
It's self-esteem, right? no, I'm playing with my folks. I don't get eating as a black guy. No, man. I think generally, like, even Olen can attest to this, Jack, when he was saying, like, we are sort of, like, open to more things. But I think in the context of a relationship is the lighter shade has more preference to the other. Because of how I'm looking at this hierarchy is the white niggas, regular ones, they can run through, and then you know what I mean? And then obviously, even if you filter it down, then, because obviously now
we tend to end at the bottom.
Yeah.
As unfair as it is, but Even
in the context of black niggas. Yeah. So I'm trying to say is, even in the black, within us blacks, the lighter you are, the more preference,
the more powers you have, the more accessibility you have to certain things.
Yeah, exactly.
As unfortunate as it is,
it's a very
that's just how the world works, I guess. Yeah,
But dark skin is came back in power in the past couple of, like, ever since you see like Skepta now is sort of like the face of sexiness. You find guys like Abo Idris Elba and whatnot.
But for
hey nigga, I know myself. I ain't gotta pause no shit, bro.
But like for women, it's always been dark, tall, handsome.
Not always been.
I feel like, as far as I've known it, I've always known that women generally have a preference for dark, tall,
Though that's very
handsome.
new. Light-skinned niggas have been ruling for ages, bro. Like, go back to high school. Look, no, seriously, dog. Like, dark-skinned niggas, they even like, as a dark-skinned nigga, kalubonakala late in your life. As a light-skinned, like, even remember, guys, like during the ME is always phones, the E250, they were like, the lighter you are, ungakwazi usibiza ngo-TI okanye uBow.
Yeah.
You can't be my shit, dog. I'm calling myself TI.
Like, niggas are fighting
I'm
you
calling
off the
myself
bat for
Lil
that.
Bow Wow or Lil Romeo. They're like, yo, chill, nigga. You know what I mean? So it's like we were not the sex symbol at the time. Like, about Chris Brown were sort of the guys really
true. But I mean, even no homo, but like niggas like Skepta, like he's a handsome nigga. Like you have to admit, like Skepta, for example, he's a handsome nigga.
He's a beautiful man, yeah.
Idris Elba is a beautiful man. Like so, it's like if you're beautiful, no one can fight it, whether you're dark or whether you're light. But like obviously they have their advantages. The light skinned people, obviously, like your color in terms of they get the woman and stuff like that. But the beautiful one,
you're giving them too much land. Listen.
Yeah.
No, but in a sense of what I'm saying is, and it's not even about a beauty issue sometimes. Like because like there's girls that are light skinned that I would prefer, even though I can see their features are not the ones, but I would prefer them over the one who's darker.
So it's a preference thing, yeah.
It's not really preference, but there's just an overarching thing that people have in terms of how they view people who are lighter in complexion. It like that's why I said it's
true.
On a bigger level. It's obviously to the whites, and then you filter it down. It's like, okay, obviously you have to be a beautiful nigga as a black nigga for you to. You need to be tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah.
But if you're just dark and short, like
what a bad combination! Dark and short,
and you're not handsome. Yeah, but Umaina says as he too, but you can be a short, light skin, decent looking nigga, but you can run through them. So you see what we're talking about there, bro. So it's a different chat, bro. But anyway, man, I hope shout out to my compatriots out there who are representing us with
shout out to them. As different kinds they are, dark, tall, whatever it may be. I'm sure it's applicable to every kind of person that's there, what we're speaking on.
Yeah, and we like all women, Bratin. We
don't discriminate.
Not at all. Not at all.
But yeah, we were going to speak
Sure.
on what were we going to speak about next?
Maybe it's essentially the overconsumption of Eland, just media in general. And I think the conversation was easily sparked by the whole thing of when you asked me what was I listening to, and I was like, bro, I still haven't gotten to the Black Key, which was last week, and I still haven't gotten to listen to the whole thing even now. And now there's even new music. I think Kelvin Momo dropped as well.
Yeah, Kelvin Momo dropped an album.
So yeah, one by stuff keeps stacking up.
As the weeks go by, the music just piles on, and whatever it may be, just piles on and piles on.
Even movies or series or whatever
it may be,
it piles up.
We were just speaking on the topic of whether we feel like it's an era of overconsumption and whether certain things matter still as they used to, like obviously albums versus singles. Like, I mean, I was listening to Kelvin Momo's. I started to listen to his album, but there was like, I don't want to listen to an album while it has hype, because generally people listen to an album while everyone else is listening to it. So you generally tend to have the consensus that other people have. So I was like, I'm not going to listen to this, but I was so blown away by the fact that the album is 3 hours. I was like, that's as long as a movie. Like, I mean, a Harry Potter movie is 3 hours. That is too long for my liking. I don't know. Maybe that's just my own personal preference. But I was like, like obviously Kelvin Momo's vibes, like you're listening to him in the car, you're listening to him if you're doing stuff in the background and whatnot. But it's like, like what am I trying to get away from the 3 hours? How many sittings is it? Is it 4 sittings? Is it 5 sittings? Just to get through that whole album. Because I want to have a sitting and know I was doing this when I was listening to this. I was doing that, I was thinking. So it's really crazy. There's people on the one end, like Luke Fiasco, for example, who dropped Samurai. He dropped 8 songs, 30 minutes. And then you get other people who dropped 30 songs, 3 hours. So the balance, where is it in media in general, even with movies as an example? There's so many we see with platforms. You can have about 6, close to 2 handfuls of platforms to choose from to listen to or to watch stuff. But the amount of movies that get churned out is like, are you a movies person? Are you a series person? A lot of people are into series nowadays. So it's a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, I'm not a series person, because when you're Netflixing and series and you're chilling with someone, they're like, no, let's just watch one more. At least at the movie, when it ends. No jokes. Jokes, guys, jokes. I don't participate in all of that stuff. When I'm watching a movie, I'm watching the whole thing, or a series, that whole thing. But I think with artists, I think it really depends on the artist. So a guy like Kelvin Momo, he has the license to do a 3-hour album because he's Kelvin Momo, and the people are gonna listen. Whether you start off Lumini, like if you're having a Sunday groove from 3 going late, you can probably listen to maybe an hour and a half of that Kelvin Momo album. But obviously that's after you've listened and picked your favorite ones.
Yeah.
So I think
so. You basically made your own playlist from the album.
From the album, which is something I do most oftenly. And secondly, I think to answer Lendoga Lupe, a guy like Lupe, even if he drops 6 songs, they too intense in terms of like conceptually and his writing skills. Like it's something that you really need to digest over
to
time.
Sit down,
like a Lupe, if you drop what's that song? Is it Mural or Mural? It's like a 9-minute rap song. And that song, like, I was literally having bits and pieces of that throughout that year. I think it dropped around like 2017 to 2018.
And it's crazy.
So I used to go back to it because I know it's like multi-layered, but it's like, it's a niche, like if you're a rap head.
Niche listening,
like, so I used to get that. So bakhona abantu abane-format ezilento. Let's say they drop 9 songs, but it's too intense. And then you get to listen to it over time. But generally, dog, I just listen to an album unless you like one of my favorites, like an Earl or like a Kelvin, or like I have my people that I like. But if you're just a regular artist, I listen to the whole thing. I pick my favorites, add them to the playlist. My life is very simple. Then I just listen to all the good songs.
So we're basically in the playlistification era.
Yeah.
The playlistification era. Yeah. Whatever times you're getting, you're trying to make a playlist ultimately from wherever you're picking your music. Because I remember I watched the Pink Panthers interview, and she was also speaking on the fact that people were so pissed off at her at the fact that her album, her sequencing is bad. Obviously, people who are very like into album mode and making albums like conceptual from beginning to end, they like it to flow. And people were bashing her for the fact that her album had no sequencing, and she was like, "Oh, guys, what's the issue? Like, I mean, who cares about sequencing? I just put out great songs. They all together as an album, and I release it for the public." And then it just begged the question of whether those sort of things should matter, like actually sequencing album and whatnot. Obviously, for people like her, it probably doesn't matter because you're just going to vibe to the music at the end of the day, or you're going to choose the songs that you want to put on a playlist or whatever it may be. So it's a very interesting era that we're in currently.
Yeah, I mean, if it's your cup of tea as an artist, because obviously, guys, like, let's say for a Frank Ocean, we wouldn't want to hear a Frank Ocean album that's all over the place sonically. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
Or we wouldn't want to hear a Kendrick album that's like not cohesive as well. Like, there's just certain people that when you are there, you are trying to listen to the full story and you have time to like let it sink in and listen song for song, look for stuff like, is it cohesive? Is the sequencing right? Is the
story?
Topics?
What's
You know what I mean? What's the
overarching?
story? Like, is it digestible on that level? So there's certain artists that I view like that, and then just like a guy like Ghana or Yachty, I just know he just makes playlist music. I don't mind about the sequencing Gagan. I just listen to the music, let it play there as if it's like a DJ playing it.
Do you think artists can work between, like, an artist that doesn't really care about that, they can actually work themselves into being an artist that can actually sequence from beginning to end, that can have a track list, that can have a story, like a Ghana, for example, or a Pink Panthers in this case? Or do you think it like equally a Kendrick or a Frank Ocean can also decide to make musics that don't have an overarching theme or whatever it may be?
I think the guys who are like more artsy, the Kendricks, they can make the other one, but I don't think the Ghanas can do the sequencing unless there's an executive producer. That's why in we get stuff like A&Ring and also like a band who are like producers, not beat makers, like producers who are like, okay, bro, this is the direction, this is what we're speaking about. Like a person like Didi, I hate speaking about him like after that whole situation, but it's a great example. Him like working with Biggie or working with whoever is a very great executive producer, because he's like, bro, we are making an album, let's say in 2024, and this is the sound that's sort of like been there. So this is the stats of what's been working on Spotify. Let's include this and that, and then let's find these producers. Let's make it like that. Obviously, you'll find a direction, and when as an artist, you just come in and do what you do best. So yeah, I think But anyway, enough about that.
On to our next topic.
On to the next one. So what else we have here?
I think the stuff that we might have covered when we were actually shooting the episode the first time.
Yeah, no,
They're
that's where
still
this.
applicable, like in terms of the varsity runs that we done.
Yeah, we need to speak about that because
Of
obviously
course.
we were there in the grounds. Shout out to you for subscribing, and we're gonna show out more in different campuses across P because we're trying to create like a great baseline for ourselves in terms of the subbies and people. With that support, like people really liked. And felt like they were obligated to help us out and get to like a very good place because we obviously still knew this is like third episode in, and
Yes.
obviously we'll have some gradual numbers and growth. Even though I felt like because when we got there, I wish Lloyd was there, bro, because Lloyd is similar to myself. He's all about the work. So because when we got there, Onika and Karma. Everyone they got to subscribe was a beautiful woman, bro. I'm like,
he's telling lies.
Equity, bro. Equality, bro. The boys are just like going all for the pretty hands, like, yo, inside the trap, can you please subscribe? And I'm watching the niggas, I'm like, maybe the next person.
So he was watching, he was not doing the work, he was watching. Okay, we saw you.
No, you know my vision, peripheral. I see everything. I'm there like tapping up some homies as well, trying to make sure that we go like, we hit all different pockets. But yeah, shout outs to that, man.
Shout outs, man. Because obviously we have goals in mind that we're trying to reach. I mean, and it was nice being on the ground, and it just made us keen to actually be on the ground more, as Mav said, because he actually was the synthesizer of this idea to go to other campuses as well. Like we plan on going to Varsity College as well. We plan on going to Rosebank College. We plan to go to all the relatives, close areas within PE, and just tell people what we're about as Inside the Tribe, and put people on to this movement that we have.
And I think also we need to sort of touch on when you're a person from outside going into varsity, the misconceptions that you have. And I think the very big one for myself essentially was I thought university was, or like tertiary was one big sort of like the Stifler-esque type situation. And I think a lot of people actually thought it was like that, bro. It's like in varsity, it's like
that's American Pie. For people who don't know, Stifler-esque, it's from American Pie. Yeah,
it's American Pie. So there's this movie about the very typical American college movie. It's like a lot of alcohol, and you must understand that alcohol doesn't come free as well, because you gotta slangana with the Gents, buy it, and then obviously
and
girls,
you get to a certain point where you don't wanna buy the certain bottles, you wanna buy other bottles as well.
Do
that involves money.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. So yeah, man, I do have some very different and nice stories, bro. So I know my bros are gonna hate me for this, but that's what you get for having a podcaster friend. So this one time, bro, I remember because after the whole Nak Music went to MacG's thingy, and then he spoke about, he gave us an idea of when he used to chill with the girls early in his days. Babetata, let's say if there's a bottle of gin, there's a bottle of gin, a tenkare, and then when let's say you have the cheap one, you can essentially take that one and pour it in.
I've heard about that one, bro. I recently found out about that.
You recently doing it?
No, I recently discovered it. What?
I thought you were only getting onto that stage now. So when we discovered that, bro, that you can take this gin bottle and put it on to the next one when the honeys arrive, so they can't tell. And generally, bro, like there was Belgravia at that time was a big thing, and we used to take Belgravia and pour it on the Tanqueray empty bottles. And then when we once started doing that more often, we would figure out girls can't tell the difference. If Lena ayo Tanqueray Belgravia, but it's in a bottle, you Tanqueray. I was like, okay, we winning right here. And then we started doing that thing like
we
consistently, you know. But there was a very weird turning point, and that time, lucky me, I quit for that year. Usela. With Usi's sister's place.
How unsuccessful was that? Quitting for a year?
Well, it wasn't, because I'm back at it now.
Exactly.
But that's not where we are. So at 2021, I don't drink. I'm heavy in my Jordan Peterson era. I'm like 12 rules of life. I'm trying to get my life together, bro. You know, so my boys, they call me up because I used to like actively rap me like classes. So Us is like, no, bro, like come through, we'll shoot Lando. Uluzu because we used to shoot. Like, come through, we'll shoot here, etc. Bum 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 bum. I'm okay. I travel with my best friend at that time. Well, he's still my best friend, but he's just in Joburg. Still. We go there, we land. Hey, we get there, the boys drink, and then the honeys arrive. The niggas don't shoot me. They're like, nah, chill, bruh. And obviously they outnumbers. They're like, nah, dog, you'll just be there. Because I didn't also participate in with the girls at that time because I was celibate, etc., etc. So I was really getting my life together, bro.
Shout out to your former self, bro. Shout out to your former self.
Yeah, well, so and like we chill with the homies to drink. These girls from Pretoria come through, we parties, vibes. First day, there's the Hennessy's and the whatnot. The second day, kubizwa abanye abantwana yaphela ke ngoku le nto. The creativity comes through kweletwe sambololo ke ngipelgravia andithi we got some istashes ama-MDs Tankeray sakhuphela. I don't know how
creativity now has to be in full use,
bro. I don't know who fumbled and how, bro. But what happened is, because it's kind of like glass, the see-through glasses that you pour water and maybe eat juice sometimes. So kwathathwa ijini yagalelwa kula glass yabo yafakwa ekhabhathini ba okay kuzophinda ukhutshwe le emndini uphela kwalini. So there's gin on top of the cupboard efihliweyo estashiweyo for xa kuphela A's.
But it's in a clear glass.
It's in a clear glass, but obviously we as the gents all know. So when the honeys arrived, they don't know jack shit. What had happened is one of the gents fumbled. I think one of the gents fumbled, and I still think it's, but he's still not honest about it. I think one of the gents fumbled. Okay, we need to cut that off. My phone will be mad at me. I'm sorry,
we
bro.
might need to know. We apologize, my G.
Please, Lord, let's cut him out. Yeah, when in Ankumele, you man,
live on the pod.
Yeah, okay, he's gonna censor it. So one of my boys, I think wathatha lando wena wayikalela phansi, and then maybe realized that uchithe ijini wagalela amanzi. And then when we had to sort of like change ngokulando ba kambo repoerisha iwewe yethu, bro,
kamanzi ngoku,
a nigga takes the water, he pours it into the gin. Lucky me, I decided to go in and chill in the room because obviously what had happened is there was a...
Oh, so you had to remove yourself from the situation?
Yeah. No, I didn't remove myself from that situation. I was unaware of what was going on.
Okay.
But the reason I moved, there was a girl I stayed in the same res with, Abanona Babesukemond, who had a friend. So those girls, we were still staying in Central Joburg. They were like hanging with the North boys and whatever. I used to like her and whatnot. And then, she acted fresh on me. So when these ones came in as well, I was like, oh, we the niggas who are like hosting in 4 ways now, bitches.
Yeah.
So,
How's that?
How's that now? Like, we the old niggas now. We the big homies now. So I moved to Erumin because I was like, and Sally, and also I don't like this encounter. I was like, gents operate. I go to the room. And you have him now. Come on, So what happened is nigga pour some water. So no, it was one honey who's like, because they were sipping, obviously. Hey man, and then there's
plan bust. What was going on? Like, big scene.
Bro, like, because no one's explaining what's going on. Niggas had to, like, take a different... Yeah, and then we had to act like we don't know how it happened, bro. We don't know how it happened. I was like, bro, how? So it was a very funny thing, but now I took the L obviously because I was part of the chase. But it just been said Rumingo Gisensek. I was like, my goodness, thank God. So yeah, man, we really had some amazing times.
That's in effect Varsity's days for you guys.
What